Have you ever wondered about the true nature of kindness? Is it a grand gesture? A life-saving act? Or could it be something much smaller? Something planted in the quiet moments of our everyday lives? Today, I want to share a story with you. A timeless Buddhist tale that might just change the way you see the world and your place in it. Imagine a young monk, let's call him Ananda, living in a serene monastery nestled high in the mountains. He was diligent and devoted, but he was troubled. He looked around and saw suffering. He saw anger, greed, and confusion, and he felt a deep sense of helplessness. How could his small efforts ever make a difference in such a vast world? One day he approached his master, a wise old monk with eyes that held the peace of 1,000 sunrises. "Master," Ananda said, his voice heavy with doubt, "I meditate, I study, I try to be compassionate, but the world remains unchanged. What is the point of my small acts of goodness when there is so much darkness?" The master smiled gently. He didn't answer with words. Instead, he handed Ananda a single, tiny, unassuming seed. It was no bigger than a grain of sand. "Go," the master said, "and plant this seed on the barren patch of land behind the kitchen. Water it every day. Protect it from the harsh winds and the scorching sun. Do this, and then we will talk." Ananda was puzzled. A seed. How could this possibly answer his profound question? But he trusted his master. So, he went to the barren, rocky patch of earth. It seemed like an impossible task. The ground was hard, and nothing had ever grown there before. Still, he cleared the rocks, loosened the soil, and carefully planted the tiny seed. Every morning at dawn, he would bring a small cup of water for the seed. Every afternoon, he would stand by it, sheltering it from the relentless sun with his own shadow. Days turned into weeks. Ananda felt foolish. He saw no change, no sprout, no sign of life. His fellow monks sometimes chuckled, wondering why he was tending to a patch of dirt. His old doubts returned. "This is pointless," he thought. "Just like my efforts to be kind, they disappear without a trace." He was on the verge of giving up. But then, one morning, he saw it. A tiny, almost invisible speck of green, pushing its way through the stubborn earth. His heart leaped. It was alive. This tiny sign of life filled him with a renewed sense of purpose. He continued to care for the sprout with even greater dedication. Weeks turned into months, and months into years. The tiny sprout grew into a sapling, and the sapling grew into a strong, magnificent tree. Its branches reached for the sky, providing shade for weary travelers. Birds built their nests among its leaves, filling the air with song. Its roots held the soil together, preventing erosion, and slowly, other small plants began to grow in its protective shade. The once barren patch of land had become a small, thriving oasis. One day, the master came and stood with Ananda under the shade of the great tree. "Do you see Ananda?" the master asked softly. "You felt your kindness was small and insignificant, like tea's seed. You planted it in a place that seemed hopeless. You couldn't see the immediate results, and you nearly despaired. But with consistent care, with unwavering intention, that one small seed transformed this entire landscape." The master continued, "Kindness is the same. Every kind word, every patient thought, every act of generosity is a seed. You may not see it sprout immediately. You may plant it in the barren ground of a hardened heart. You may think it is lost or wasted, but it is never lost. Each seed of kindness sends out roots, changes the soil, and in its own time, it will grow into something strong and beautiful, creating shade and shelter in ways you can never fully predict." Ananda finally understood. His life, his practice, wasn't about one grand act of saving the world. It was about planting one seed of kindness at a time. It was about watering that seed with his daily actions, his intentions, and his presence. The result wasn't his to control. His job was simply to plant the seed. This story reminds us that our actions, no matter how small they seem, have ripple effects. The smile you give a stranger, the patient ear you lend a friend, the small bit of help you offer someone in need, these are not insignificant. They are seeds. You are a gardener of kindness, and the world is your garden. Don't be discouraged if you don't see immediate results. Just keep planting. Keep nurturing. Trust that in the grand, interconnected web of life, your small acts of goodness are creating shade for someone. Somewhere, sometime. They are, quite literally, changing the world. Thank you so much for joining me for this story today. If it resonated with you, I'd be so grateful if you'd like this video and subscribe to the channel for more stories on growth and mindfulness. What seed of kindness will you plant today?